Ford Video Guy Studio in Salina, Kansas is McArthur Live with Tim Bartz and Sarah Davis. For all the information on ordering and production, Ford news, recalls, debunking all the fake news on social media, and whatever's on their mind, here's your hosts, Tim and Sarah. Hey, good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing? Hope you're having a great week. And Father's Day was Saturday or Sunday.
Yes.
Not Saturday. Sunday. Hope everybody, all the fathers had a great Father's Day with their kiddos and grandkids and everything. I was going to show off what I got, but for those of you, as we're getting started here, of course, this is episode 147, I believe. I have to look at the thing, maybe 148 now in here, and we are putting these out as podcasts as well. So recording this to put on there, favorite podcasting platforms and everything. And if you're checking out that, come on over. I don't think we have any images to show you tonight, but we do a couple things. We got stickers and stuff that I'm going to show off. But anyway, hope you can join us live. Either way, there are a couple different ways for you to view or listen to this live stream. All right. So, how was your weekend?
Pretty good.
What did you do? Tell them.
Oh, okay. So we went, Father's Day, of course, we went to the Davis house, my husband's house, or husband's parents' house. We barbecued and had fun, and the boys, they have a swing set, so they took the slip and slide and attached it right at the edge of the bottom of the slide.
Why am I not surprised?
And they were all taking turns sliding down it and going down the slip and slide. The bigger kids could get all the way to the end. The little kids got less than a foot. But they had fun. They spent about 4 hours outside.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Well, you, of course, we got, I know there's a t-shirt in the works that I got for Father's Day that they're working on, but also Sarah's kiddos got me this little Bronco.
Yes.
Looking pretty cool. And those are like real rubber tires there. Yeah, those are pretty nice. So, there you go.
I found that in the Broncos ladies group on Facebook. One of the ladies had her son or cousin, someone in her family made one of these for her, and she told him that they would be very popular if he made an Etsy shop. Sorry. And so he started an Etsy shop, so you can find these on Etsy. Yeah. So I plan to get it painted for you. So
yep,
it'll be painted Area 51 to match his Bronco.
There you go. So yeah, we had fun. We went over, spent a lot of time at your grandparents' house.
We spent 4 hours at the Davis house, and then me and the boys came over and spent 2-3 hours at Grandma's. Yeah. So
all right, so it's pretty cool. Our patches came in. The ones that Jeffrey designed. There you go. Pretty proud of that. So a lot of people are doing with their patches. They're doing not just their Bronco, but also like a state. So probably not a lot of people giving out stickers from Kansas. So if you're needing a Kansas patch or sticker, I got you covered here. Anyway, so yeah, that is actually when they put that out there. I actually have two different companies that are making it for me because the first 50 I have, about half of them are already going out. So everybody that sent me a patch, don't worry about it. I got you. I have the patches here. I'm going to send out patches to everybody that we've already received patches from. You don't have to worry about that. Also, this company actually did stickers and patches, but you'll get those sent out to you. And then anybody that maybe hasn't sent a patch, because there are some people that are like, are you doing patch or sticker? And at the time I didn't have patches, so we just did a sticker swap. So I'll need to try to figure out and try to get those people stickers as well. But anyway, I got those. We'll do those next week because we're going to be busy the next 3 days. On our way, going to Maine tomorrow, flying into Maine, see Richview and his family, and then going to Off Rodeo on Thursday. And I'm really looking forward to that because I think we'll get some with both of us going. I got 2 GoPros set up. I have 3 GoPro batteries for one. We're going to get all kinds of good footage and really get a chance to show what people can experience at the off rodeo a little bit more. So anyway, all right. But speaking of stickers and everything, I got 2 in here. Let's see who we got this. This one's from. Kind of a cool. Thanks for the sticker swap. Everybody gives a little thank you for the sticker swap. Little
That's
stuff.
why I made you one.
Yeah.
To put in yours. If you're getting sticker swaps from him, technically I'm the one packaging and putting it together.
I do a really good job of utilizing my assistant.
Yes.
All right.
I don't mind it though. Add a little flair that he wouldn't think about.
Yep. So this one's pretty cool. It says Squatch Squad, and it has the Bronco up.
Oh, I like that.
That's pretty cool. I like these extra stickers. Like these are what goes on my tumblers and everything. And they did theirs kind of in that corner shot. You know, some of them do that, and I love that. That's pretty cool. It says Sup Buckers. That's pretty cool. So, and then it has more, and then there you go, pretty cool. And then buck around and find out. Anyway, those are pretty cool. And that's from, who is that from? That was from Buck and EJ on Instagram from Texas. He's from Texas there. So that's pretty cool. So we'll get these all figured out. And then I got one other here. Came in. Get that all squared away. And this one is from Florida, Panama City. So I don't know if I can say his name. But this is Pegasus, the Bronco. We had done a sticker swap. You guys have seen that already. But they had their patches. And I said I had my patches coming in. So we'll need to add one more and make sure they get theirs too sent out. So we'll get ours. I said ours is on the way. And so they sent that patch. So we'll put that here so I don't forget when we get back that I need to do that along with all those over there. So we'll get those sent out. But I'm really excited about that. So there you go.
So I'm going to have to go through.
No, I'll get it. I'll get it.
Okay, I was going to say, so are we going to go through all the ones that you've sent over to me?
I'm going to do these.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if we'll have to, should be able to look on there. And what I love about Instagram is that if you message through Instagram, then you have that history of what you message and go, yep, I got their address. It's right here. So makes it easy. So something had a nice package that came in this week. Or since last week, you'll notice I am sporting this nice Maverick tumbler here that some of you received when you got your recall done, like Sarah did. But I got a special gift from the Maverick brand manager that sent this over. It says, thanks for all your help with Maverick and customer issues. Because I've been helping a lot of people on Maverick Truck Club have messaged me and said they're not getting the private offers and such like that. So I've helped a lot of customers. In fact, 2 just recently after I received this. And so he said, here, please keep a couple Yeti tumblers for yourself and Sarah. I also gave one to Jeff and to Niles because they're part of the group. So I said, give the remainder out to Maverick. We have a dozen left, and we have 6 that are going to be given out at our event coming up.
I think they should be auctioned off.
Well, 6 people are going to get them.
Or raffled off.
At the event.
That's what I'm thinking. A raffle.
Okay.
Everyone gets a raffle ticket.
Could do that.
We'll talk.
Yeah, we'll make sure they get out to some Maverick customers and drivers at the Cars and Coffee that we're having. So what's going on August 2nd and 3rd, right? 2nd is a we've got to come up with this. We need ideas for names. We got to come up with a name, but we're doing kind of a meetup for those that want to kind of spend a day with the Ford Video Guy team. And I'll also be there, and Sarah, and we're going to do a drive on Friday. So we'll do a destination drive we have planned out with box lunch provided and drinks and beverages, waters and that kind of thing. And so we'll drive to a location. We'll set a picnic and everything, and then we'll drive back. It's only about an hour drive there and an hour drive back, so not a long drive. So if you've been driving a long time to get here, you won't be in your car too long, but we'll hang out and enjoy the time, whether it be Bronco, Maverick. It doesn't matter what your vehicle is. just bring it and you can enjoy it. And some people had said that last year. They said,
We-
well, I don't have a Maverick. I would have come. I'd love to come and hang out with you guys, but I don't have a Maverick. So this year we're not just doing Maverick, but and so that we're kind of doing it in conjunction with our monthly Cars and Coffee, which is the third at the
Speaking of
dealership.
which, we have someone bringing an F-150 and someone bringing a Subaru Outback. So
There you go. So Cars and Coffee is open to any vehicle. What we've been doing this summer, we've been having different clubs come and bring. Last month it was, or I should say June was the Hot Rod Club of Salina. They brought their hot rods out. 1 month was the Mustang Club from Wichita that came.
The Wichita Mustang Club.
Yeah, Wichita Mustang Club came up, and so that was, they came up as well as everybody else brought their vehicles out. So in August, it will be the Maverick Truck Club will be there. So again, your vehicle is always welcome. All vehicles are, but the Maverick Truck Club will be present, and we'll put out. We got to do all kinds of email blasts and everything about that, but there you go. We got that. So that's kind of what's going on those days. And if you're a member of the channel, then we're going to do a special dinner Friday night, and maybe those of you Thursday night too. So those of you sticking around Saturday, maybe Saturday night. So we'll see. As you can tell, I like hanging out with people and getting to know people. So that's what's going on for that. So, all right. What else is going on? Videos. Maverick Monday video yesterday. People had asked about how the hybrid versus the gas, how that all worked. And I think he wanted a more engineer type of detail about it. And I'm like, I don't think I can help with that. But I did kind of talk about how when the engine and when the gas engine is used, when the motor is used, and that thing. Hopefully people enjoyed that video that went live yesterday. And about an hour ago, you guys should have seen the Escape 2025 model year Escape. Order banks are open, order guides are out, and building prices on the website. It was pretty easy when you don't change much.
Yeah.
So 2024 to 25 didn't change much. Prices went down, but I feel like it's because their content went down. So they took away some standard equipment from some of those, and then the price went down. Like I noticed, I'm like, well, why did all-wheel drive active go down $2,000, whereas the other one went down $1,500 for the EcoBoost? Well, that's because in 24 model year, the comfort package was included in all-wheel drive. This year, it's optional. So they made it cheaper because of that package. So there's some things they tweaked. So that video went live on what's different and new for the 25 model year Ford Escape. Order banks are open up if you want to order one. And if that content like power liftgate and all that doesn't mean anything to you, then you can save yourself $1,500 and get a 25 instead of a 24. There you go. And then we'll do videos. Oh, we have a lot. I have a lot of videos. I have a lot of videos recorded, a lot in editing. So we have the Mach-E walk around on the rally. I have a video recorded on that. We'll try to get that edited while we're in flight, probably tomorrow. We also have one on the LMP 810. We have our first one put together with not only just the supercharger, the Whipple supercharger, but also the interior upgrade package you can get, as well as the wheel and tire upgrade. This one happened to be the bronze appearance package wheel upgrade, and then rear spoiler upgrade as well. So I did a video on that as well. I feel like there's more. Anyway, off-roadie, we'll probably do that this week as well. Do a video from there. So a lot of good things coming. So, and then of course, since the Escape order guide is out now for 25, we'll need to go through all those videos. So I'm going to be busy the next couple weeks. So lots of video content for you guys out there. So, all right, what else? Anything else?
Channels that we're friends with.
Yep, don't forget about them. I didn't know if there's any other news though. Yeah, don't forget they're down below. You can check out them. All Train Nation. They didn't have a live last night. Also, there's Johnny's Car Cam Reviews, which we're gonna meet up with them this week. They're coming down from Canada and they're gonna meet up with us.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun after the off rodeo for an evening, and then hang out with them and Ridgeview and maybe Midcoast Maine. I don't know.
We're meeting Midcoast Maine. He's meeting us at Demio's.
Tomorrow night. I'm looking forward to that too.
Yeah. There will be 7 of us. In fact, he was like, "Do you think they're ready for the 7 of us?" Rowdy crew.
Anyway, we'll see. The last time I went to Maine, I went to Becky's Diner for breakfast. They have an amazing breakfast. So we might have to see if we could do that Friday morning before we fly back.
Oh yeah.
Might have to think about that. Anyway, okay. Yeah, that's all fun stuff. And then we do have merch. So if you want any, actually got this shirt from our merch site, the Ford Video Guy. So if you want our merch, we have hats, all kinds of stuff, T-shirts, fun stuff with our Bronco. Might have to get some Mach-E related stuff as well. If you want some of that, stickers, whatever, you can do that on our merch site. Link is down in the comments. It's just lawmacarthur.myspreadshop.com. And June 19th and June 21st, there's 25% off. So for Juneteenth, is that right? Did I say that right? Juneteenth holiday as well as the 21st is 25% off of everything. So and that's the deal going on right now. Usually there's a couple of those 25% off deals every month. So I'll try to keep you guys posted if you guys want to do that. And then my personal website, fordvideoguy.media.com, if you want to check that out. Different customizations I've done to the Bronco and everything on there. So, and Maverick, if since I don't have the Maverick anymore, there's kind of a stuff I did to the Maverick and historical thing to the Maverick. I probably won't do much to the Mach-E.
Yeah.
So, it's pretty stock. I don't
See, I
probably won't do anything to it.
People like to hear from someone that has a Maverick when you're talking about the Maverick or trying to
At least I
educate
have
them.
owned one, yeah.
So when I'm talking to them, they're like, "Oh, so you have a Maverick?" Not anymore, but I did drive one for a year.
Yeah.
So at least you've had the experience of driving one personally.
All right. Okay.
Plus, my sister still has one.
Anything else?
Are they?
Members.
Yes.
And we have membership. You're working on that? Do you need me to keep talking?
No, we're good. I just hit the bottom.
Okay. So
y'all are chatting tonight.
If you want to become a member, you can. Easy to get to.
It's that join button right beside the subscribe button. If you're iPhone, you have to do things a little bit differently. You have to go to your web browser, go up to the little A and big A in the link, and request desktop browser. At that point, you should be able to see it.
You can find all the content on the homepage now, but you can also find it in the membership tab too. So there you go. Community tab will be any other posts that we do and that kind of stuff. We do actually have a sign up. If you do want to come to the meetup / Cars and Coffee in August, sign up. That way we get a good idea. We want to get, we'll make sure we're going to do some stuff there. We'll make sure we have food available for you. We have that box lunch if you're going to do the drive with us. So there's information on what events you want to come to during that weekend. If you can't make it on Friday, great. If you want to come Saturday, maybe you can come Friday, but not Saturday. Then, do whatever you can.
Yeah.
So.
But we want to try and get everyone kind of registered or aware that they are coming. So that way we can have accurate numbers for food and whatnot. And that way, if we're sitting there, we're like, do we have everyone for the drive? And we have 14 and they're supposed to be 16. We aren't going, who's not here?
Yep.
So far we're at 17.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
People or vehicles?
People. Vehicles. 7 vehicles.
Okay. Anyway. All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. We don't want too big of a crowd either. I mean, for the Friday thing, but we do want see a lot of vehicles. And we'll have, I think for the Cars and Coffee, we'll probably have a lot more locals coming that too. So we'll try to really get the Mavericks, the in-town Mavericks to that. We do have a lot in town.
I see them every time I turn a corner.
Well, when I did the video Monday for the Maverick video, I was driving the Maverick just to the mall and back. There were like a couple Mavericks that I saw. I'm like, oh, there's a Maverick right there. Anyway, all right. That's all I got for that. And you want to become a member? You want to get all the benefits.
Yeah.
You get shout outs. Your name's in green on the live stream.
You get special emojis.
Yep. You get a couple videos each week. In fact, if you're a member, you're going to get some good content this week while we're traveling. We're probably going to do a fun little video on driving there. We're going to drive the Mach-E there. In fact, I forgot to unplug it. It's at 100%. Should be. I need to go unplug it. Oh well. It's at 99%. It says 271, and it's supposed to be, my range is supposed to be 265. That's good. Anyway, so we'll be doing a video of that as well as our travels and such, and meeting up with Johnny. So hopefully you're a member and you'll have some fun with some special content this week.
Yeah.
Special fun videos, that kind of thing. Yeah. And then, course member, we probably, just to let all the members know, we will not be doing a Friday member live. We'll be traveling at that time. So we'll be getting on a plane heading back. So won't be able to do that live. So
that's why I always say we usually do a live stream.
Yep. Saturday we'll still have a lot walk. So we should be back by about midnight, 1 o'clock. So I'll be here Saturday to do a lot walk for you guys. So,
yeah.
But all right.
All right.
And shout outs in the live stream.
I was about to say shout outs. All right. So we're going to start off with Ridgeview. If you're in the chat, you know who he is. He is our wonderful moderator. He helps us keep everyone from getting too rowdy. And he is just a great help. He's who we're meeting in Maine.
Yep. And then on the other spectrum of that, you have Niles,
who's not in here with us yet.
Oh, he's not? He's the one that usually gets everybody rowdy.
Yeah. Niles is our rowdy, but he's also our aftermarket specialist.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have any questions about aftermarket, go ahead. You can drop it with @NilesGridley. Or if he doesn't hop in, we can certainly try and answer the questions in the comments tomorrow. But he said, welcome to the crew. Bud Guy 8829. This is his first live stream as a member.
Cool.
So it looks like we have a couple people that popped in while I'm doing that. Ragnarcon is here. He says, but what do I do with my Friday afternoon now?
Let's be honest, Ragnarcon. You usually don't join the Friday live streams.
Yes, he does.
He's joined a couple.
He
for
joins.
It's a lot walks.
Yes, he doesn't do lot walks, but he joins us on Friday.
That's right, because he's given us some pretty good ideas for videos. So
he's like, oh wow,
he's got a new job. I watched his last video.
Oh yeah,
he's working for Ford.
What?
Pretty cool. So.
All right. What's in your cup?
Yep, we'll get to that some point.
We have Bucko here with us tonight. We have Vols44. I've never seen the chat so dead, so close to the beginning of the live stream.
Mm-hmm.
We have Brandon Jones. I'm on time today. I double mowed my yard for the first time in weeks due to the Rogers tornado. We have Francis Arrigo. Hello, all. Still marooned in Florida. So his Bronco is in the shop, and so his wife flew home, but he can't get home.
Marooned in Florida. Does that sound that bad? I guess if you don't have a vehicle drive, though.
He wants to get home. All right, we have Rushman. Good evening from a warm and humid New Jersey. We have Mike M. Just finished golf, riding home with top down. Hope storms in Salina are not too bad tonight. We need rain here now.
Oh, it's coming through. It might actually rain during our live stream. I think we got this patch. It's supposed to just
slam us.
It's stretching from like Canada on down to like Oklahoma.
We had like this really freak storm on Saturday where it was rolling in really fast. So like 1 second you just see the front of it, and then like 5 minutes later it's hitting, and it was gone after 20 minutes. Oh,
I know. We were at the festival. So we were at the festival. Real quick little side note here. We went to the Smoky Hill River Festival. We were there and we're like, well, maybe it'll go around us. Everybody's like packing up and leaving. I'm like, well, I don't know. Should we? And then we just got our stuff packed up and it just started raining, and then it just started pouring. So we went to the car as fast as we could. As soon as we got to the car, it stopped.
Yes.
I was like, we should have just went under the tent and just stayed there.
So we actually had just gotten done swimming. We got to the car as it started to sprinkle, and then we got to Pizza Hut, and it started to kind of rain a little bit harder. We realized we forgot a card at home, so we had to drive home. as the storm was really hitting. So we're driving through the storm and the wind, branches falling down
Oh yeah,
on the
those
street.
80-mile-an-hour winds.
Yeah. I was like, if this is mostly wind, it wasn't like torrential rain, it was wind pushing the rain to torrential speeds.
Yeah.
So the wind's just knocking down limbs. We get home and he realizes he had his card all along. And we drive back, still in the storm. As soon as we get to Pizza Hut, the storm's done.
Yeah.
And then the pizza was incorrect. So
Anyway, all right.
But yes,
we got a storm coming through. It's supposed to rain tomorrow. We'll see how it is on the way there. See how well the Maki does, and
yeah.
So,
all right, we have Brian Foster. Hello, Richview, and the other LM members. Also, huge welcome to any new folks joining this live feed for the first time. We have Anthony. Evening, everyone. Mid Coast, Maine. Howdy, howdy from the Maine coast. Vols 44. Sarah sporting her Kansas State flower attire. Yes, my favorite dress. We have Mike Lyons. Good evening, LM fan. We have Andy Weems. Good day, everyone. Terry McGee. Steve is here. Gino is here. Sounds like he's pretty busy. Sports and whatnot. I'm bringing a few things for the raffle. Also, some Maverick add-ons from Alan. So maybe I need to start making a poll or contacting people about that. See if they have trade swaps buys. We have Mike M. Go Vols. Vols said the second annual Midwest Maverick Bronco meetup. It would be the third, but I think we want to make it all-inclusive to like F-150s, Super Duties, anything and everything that wants to show up.
Mavco Bronkvik.
Mavco. Midwest Mavco meetup.
Midwest Mavco Bronkvik meetup.
Well, it's either Mavco, which is Maverick and Bronco. First part of Maverick, last part of Bronco.
Mav Bronco
or
Rich.
Bronkvik. I keep saying YouTube community.
I don't know.
YouTube community meetup. We have Gino. Oh yeah, my Jacob is busy with baseball and football. We might have to watch Daughters Ranch. So busy. We have Douglas here. I had a 95 back in the day. They're talking about some cars that they had. Donald Rash. Sorry I'm late, but I am here. Alan has been a member for 30 months, and Brandon has been a member for 14. Let's see. I have 25 comments built up. Jack Evans. Hi, got in late. Better than never. VTech is also joined us. Douglas Blair is here. Oh, yeah. The electric one is an electric hookup. Charging port. If you look at it on YouTube chats, it's a charging port. One of those special emojis. All right. I think that is everyone. Oh, here we go. Steve Young. Tux Mats made in Canada. There we go. I think I got everyone. I'm sorry if I didn't get you, but I think I got everyone.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Okay.
Onward.
All right. Thanks to all of our members and everyone. If you're not a member, no big deal. Appreciate you guys joining us as well. And you want to smash that like button, I'd appreciate it. All right. We got good dealer highlight here. That's what's next. You got one?
What? Oh, yes. I was reading through the comments I hadn't gotten to yet. All righty. Went through these today. All right, so
Good.
We have Lewisburg Ford in Lewisburg, Kansas. Excellent experience. Lewisburg sells all of their vehicles at $50 over invoice pricing. This was about an $1,800 savings compared to MSRP for my build. They also found a lender that beat my credit union's interest rate. Although a couple of extras were discussed at delivery, there was no pressure and I did not have to add anything to the deal. The final price matched exactly what was agreed to at time of order. My deal was done entirely with Mike McKinney. There's no backroom finance shenanigans to worry about at this dealership. He wished he could do service at Lewisburg. He did not have a good experience with Leavenworth Ford dealership. That's why he went there.
All right. That's a Kansas City area.
Yep.
There you go.
All right. Onward.
All right. Well, I have scheduling information for this week, and we do kind of probably am going to progress through pretty quickly tonight because we might actually cut a little short since we got to get up early in the morning. But so we'll get through this, and all right. So we'll get into scheduling information next. So if you have any questions, put those comments down there. You might wait till I go over the model before you have questions about it, but we'll try to get through that. And I still haven't corrected the slide with the typos. We got to remember to tell Jeff. He'll fix it if I remind him. I keep forgetting. All right, so let's do that. Let's see where it is right here. All right, we're going to get into the scheduling notes for this week, for the week of 6/17. This is what's happening for your favorite different models. And before we get into that, we'll talk about what's going on and any kind of constraints, that kind of thing. Let's get into the different terminology that you might hear us use during this section. So let's go on up here and go over that. So first off, we have what we're talking about here when we talk about Ford's scheduling. It's scheduling of orders to be scheduled for production dates. Those orders have to be inputted into the order bank. So a dealer places their stock as well as retail orders in what they call WebDo or the order bank, and those orders are put in there. And that's the orders that are chosen from. They have to be submitted and not just saved. And then there's a retail order. What's the difference between retail and stock, you might ask? Retail orders are a customer placed order. And a stock order is orders that are placed for dealer or stock inventory. So if they have, and the reason a dealer might have put stock orders in there and not just retails is because if they have allocations and they don't have retail orders, they will use those allocations for stock ordering because they still get to use those allocations. So we're going to talk about allocations in a second. Priority code, that's a priority given 2 orders by the dealer, 03 to 19 for a retail order, 20 to 80 for a stock. The lower the better. So that's why retail orders are looked at before stock orders are. Scheduling, that's when Ford schedules an order for a production date in the future months. We're going to be talking about vehicles that are scheduling this week for dates in August. So they usually schedule about 2 months in advance. And then production dates usually they're going to be scheduled for a production date, I should say. Typically first they're going to be scheduled to the week, and then as it gets closer, it gets scheduled to an actual day of that week. That's when Ford will plan to build your vehicle or your order per se. Now, allocations. The reason we bring that up is because Ford gives dealers allocations to schedule their orders. A dealer needs an allocation to schedule an order in the order bank, even if it's a retail order. Just having that in there doesn't mean anything. A dealer still has to have an allocation. And a dealer earns those allocations from their sales of each model within their region. So the more they sell, the more allocations they get for that particular model. So without those, if a dealer gets a lot of orders but not very many sales in a certain model, there's where it might take a little longer for yours to get scheduled. Constraints, that is options that may be in short supply or take longer to build. And then capacity, that's the planned production rate of a given motor, trim, and option. So those kind of go hand in hand because there's a set amount of capacity that they can build at based on the supplier giving them the parts that they need to assemble the vehicle. And that's where the constraint happens, is if there's a certain capacity and then there's a bigger demand than the capacity, that's where we get that constraint. When they're not able to build them fast enough. Job 1 and Job 2, production runs within, they'll have 2 different runs in the model year, Job 1 and then a Job 2. And why would they split that up is if they need to make some significant changes because of supply issues, or maybe they want to introduce something fun or new, they don't want to have to wait until the next model year. We've seen that happen with the F-150, where they didn't have the certain option available at the launch of job 1, so they introduced it in the job 2. Balance out, that's the end of production or the balance out of production for a particular option or model. We have a couple models that are balancing out. One that's completely done, and that's the Edge, but then also we have the Escape as well. So there's that. All right. So that's that information. So let's get into scheduling first for the 24 model year Mustang. The Mustang order banks are open up for about all trim levels with exception of the Dark Horse. Dark Horse is not, order banks are not open. If a dealer gets an allocation for Dark Horse order and they don't have a retail order that it's already been put into the system, then they can place that stock order. And customer can have can take delivery of a stock order. They would just need to make sure that it will have their name on it. It'll be for the dealer. The dealer needs to kind of talk back and forth with the customer for that. There's currently 723 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. And this week, the Mustang is not going to be scheduling for any production dates. They did schedule last week. They are not going to be scheduling this week. Next up is the 24 model year Escape. The Escape order banks are closed for the 24 model year. The 25 model year order banks are now open up. They opened up yesterday. So the order banks are open up for the 25 model year. And we'll get into talking later in the live stream, if you watch the live stream, about what's changed for the 25, as well as we did a video that you can watch too if you want to know what's different and what's new for this model year. So order banks are open up for the 25 model year. And there's currently 7 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank for the 24 model year, and they're still scheduling for that. Not this week. They're not going to schedule this week, but they will be scheduling real soon. So but then there's a note in here that the order banks have been opened up at yesterday at 3:00. So they're opened up. Let's see. Nothing else. No scheduling of escapes this week, and only 7 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. So there you go. So they're going to be, they will usually take orders for the new model year 25 for about a month before they start scheduling. So July, they'll start scheduling for production dates in September for the 25 model year. That's when I think the production starts up in about mid-September for the 25 model year Escape. So there's still the rest of this month, they'll have dealers that will have allocations to be used for the balance out. We talked about that term earlier on the 24 model year. All right, next up is the 24 model year Bronco Sport. Order banks are open up for the Bronco Sport. There's currently only 49 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. They are scheduled this week for the weeks of 8/5 through 8/26. They will be scheduling retail and stock ordering. Last week was retail only. This week, if a dealer doesn't have a retail order, they can use those allocations towards those stock orders. Here's some of the information you need to know if you are, looking for that. Either you have a retail or you need to put some stock ones in to use those allocations. Limited availability for the Big Bend trim. Also, limited availability for the 2.0 EcoBoost engine, which is basically the engine that's on the standard on the Badlands. Also, the convenience package, which is optional on the Big Bend, and the freewheeling is limited availability, as well as the black appearance package, which is optional on the Big Bend. Also, the 18-inch machine face aluminum wheel, the ebony black painted one that's standard on the Outer Banks, is also limited availability, as well as the all-season tire 225 65 R17 all-season that is standard on the Big Bend. So, really, Badlands is actually, the 2.0 is constrained a little bit, but really Badlands, we did have some Badlands scheduled last week, and so they are scheduling some Badlands finally. Next up is the 24 model year Bronco. The order banks are open up for about all trim levels. Here are some of the trim levels that are not open up. So the Heritage Limited Edition 2-door and 4-door are done. They're closed up. In fact, they're balanced out on 4-door Heritage Limited Edition. They're not going to schedule anymore, but they are scheduling Heritage Limited 2-doors, but the order banks are open up. Also, the order banks are closed for the Heritage 4-door, but they are open up for the Heritage 2-door. If you want to order Heritage 2-door, you can do that. So the order bank is closed for the Everglades right now. So that order bank is closed, and they are going to be balancing out real soon In fact, there's a note in here we'll get to in just a little bit. But all the other trim levels are open up. So, whether it be a Big Bend, Black Diamond, Badlands, Outer Banks. Outer Banks is a 2.3 liter only right now. In fact, I think some of those notes are in here, but some of those there, Wild Track as well, available to order. So, all right. So this week there are scheduling for the Bronco for the weeks of 8/5 through 8/26. A main commitment, which means retail in stock scheduling, will happen. Last week was specialty vehicles only, Raptors, Everglades, those kind of things. I think we had 2 Heritage Edition 2-doors that scheduled and a Raptor last week. So this week, the rest of our allocations will be looked at for scheduling other orders. It says dealers with open allocation for Heritage Limited, please submit 2-door Heritage Limited orders. So again, order banks are closed for the 4-door, so they're asking them to make sure those are 2-door if they have an allocation for that. Important as a reminder, to make sure that they put Bronco, telling them make sure you have some stock Bronco orders in there. They're going to go ahead, and if you don't, they'll put them in there for you. So they'll make sure if you have, let's say you have 4 allocations and you have no orders in your order bank, retail or stock, they will put what they call a SIM order in, which is something that they want it to be built. So make sure as a dealer, you put in those stock orders, something that that sells well. Get that configuration, that stock order in the order bank. Don't rely on Ford to tell you what they want to build, because I'll guarantee you they're going to build what fits their capacity, not what sells well necessarily. So a little important note there. Also, a 4-door Heritage Limited is balancing out for 25 model year. We talked about that. And Everglades balancing out for 24 model year. So I think this is the last month for scheduling for Everglades. So make sure you get those orders. Well, the order's already in there, but hopefully you did get those in. So stock, you can't even order stock Everglades either. So, all right. And then they are needing some 2-door Big Bends, 2-door Black Diamonds, 2-door Wild Tracks, and 2-door Badlands. So they're not getting a lot of 2-door orders, as you can tell there. So that's what they are looking for. So they're more likely to schedule one of those retail orders for that. But really, with only 1,500 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank, really none of the configurations are going to be constrained at this point on the Bronco. So, all right, next up is a 24 model year Mach-E. Order banks are open up for the Mach-E, is including the GT and the Rally. And there's only 20 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank for the Mach-E. They are scheduled this week for the weeks of 8/5 through 8/26. Stock and retail ordering will happen, and there's no constraints really on those whatsoever. So, all right, next up is the 25 model year Explorer. The order banks are open up for the Explorer right now. And there's currently only 193 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. They are scheduled this week for the weeks of 8/5 through 8/26. Stock and retail ordering is going to happen this week. So, like I said, if a dealer has a retail order, they'll look for that first within the capacity. There are some limited exhaust availability items here. If that's going to cause a retail order not get scheduled, they'll look at that stock order to fulfill it. So sometimes what we'll do is if we see that happening and we're like, nope, we need that retail order selected, we'll make sure those stock orders aren't going to be something that they'll actually pull. Limited availability for the Platinum trim, as well as limited availability for the 20-inch carbonized gray painted aluminum wheel. That's optional on the Active Comfort package. And the ST line street package is limited availability. Exhausted availability for the Active, ST line, and ST, and both all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive. The 2.3 liter EcoBoost engine is exhaust availability, as well as the 3.0 EcoBoost engine. Well, that's the 2 engines they make. So they're going to schedule some, even though it says exhaust availability, they're going to schedule some. They probably just won't schedule a lot. 18-inch 5-spoke sparkle silver paint aluminum wheel, which is standard on the Active, as well as the 21-inch dark alloy polished aluminum wheel that's available in the Ultimate package on the Platinum, and the 20-inch carbonized gray painted aluminum wheel that's optional on the Active Comfort package are all exhausted as well. So they're going to probably schedule this week for Explorer, but they probably won't schedule a lot because, as you can see, there are a lot of things there that are exhaust availability. When both the 2 engines that they make are exhaust availability, they're not going to schedule a lot. All right. Next up is the 24 model year Expedition. Order banks are open up for the Expedition. There's currently only 485 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. They are scheduled for the weeks of 8/5 through 8/26 for retail and stock. For both of those, exhaust availability for the King Ranch version, the Platinum version, as well as the Timberline version. And then also the 20-inch gloss black painted wheel that is optional on the XLT, included in the black accent package, as well as a 22-inch polished aluminum wheel that's standard on the limited 302A and the platinum. So those are all exhaust availability as well there. So XLT trim is not listed in there. So that shouldn't be an issue getting an XLT scheduled or a limited for the most part, as long as you stay away from that 22-inch limited wheel. All right. That's it. 24 model year Maverick is up next. Order banks are open up for the Maverick, so you can place those orders. There's currently 7,535 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank for the Maverick. They are scheduling this week for the weeks of 8/5 through 8/26 for both retail and stock scheduling for the dealers that have them. Most of all of ours got scheduled last week for us. Usually that's what that'll happen for any retail orders you might have. Most of the allocations will be used that first week. So for the most part, they've scheduled out most of their retail orders already last week. So they're going to be filling in for those other orders if a dealer has an allocation. Maybe they don't have a retail order because last week was retail only. So if they don't have any retail orders, but they get allocations, then they'll try to fulfill those with those stock ones. Limit availability for the Lariat version, because they scheduled a lot of Lariats last week. All of ours were Lariats. Also, limit availability for the Ford Copilot 360, which is the first time seeing that. That's optional on the XL and XLT. Also, the tonneau pickup box cover, the hard roll-up, also exhausted, as well as about every wheel. 18-inch machine face bright wheel that's standard on Lariat. The black 18-inch wheel that's painted that is optional on the Lariat is also exhausted. The 17-inch machine face carbonized gray painted wheel, which is optional on the XLT and the Lariat, as well as a carbonized gray painted wheel that is standard on the XLT. That's also limited. You might think, well, that's great. The XL wheel is not listed. But let's go to the exhausted availability items, which that's front wheel drive is exhausted, as well as the XL trim is exhausted. And the black appearance package is exhausted. There's that black wheel. Also, the Lariat luxury package is exhausted. And the modular drop-in bed liner, the bed extender, and the tire that's standard on the XL and XLT. So I would say, looking at that, what's limited, what's exhausted, if you have an order, you're looking to get scheduled this week. First of all, you're dealing with an allocation. But secondly, I'd look FX4, because front wheel drive is exhausted, but all wheel drive is not. So a trimmer, there you go, or an FX4, something like that. So there you go. Anyway. All right, that's all I can say about that. 24 model year Ranger is up next. Order banks are open up for the Ranger. There's currently 1,333 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. They are scheduling this week for the weeks of 8/5 through 8/26. If you remember, last week was scheduling for Raptors. This week is the other vehicles. So I know we have some XLTs and Lariats that are previewing. So they're doing the main commitment for Raptor. Both stock and retail orders will be selected this week, depending on what you have. No constraints. That's good to see. All right, next up is the 24 model year Super Duty. The order banks are open up for the Super Duty. There's currently 13,935 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. They are scheduling at the Kentucky truck plant for the weeks of 7/15 through 8/12, and at Ohio assembly plant the weeks of 8/5 and the week of 8/12. And so also just a reminder to dealers, make sure you have some orders in there that you're required to do. I know it's been in here every week, so I won't go into that because it's mainly for dealers. Also, don't forget that they can do spray and bed liners, because they need their capacity is higher than what their orders are. So they're saying put the spray and the tough bed, the spray and bed liner in there. You should be good. Limit availability for the following options: the platinum version, the 6.7 liter Power Stroke diesel engine. So I believe that's T. That is not the high output. That is a regular diesel, which is surprising. Also, limit availability for the pickup box delete. First time seeing that in a while. The lug nut cap that is optional on the F250 and F450 pickups with the four-wheel drive, single rear wheel. There you go. And then also the lug nut cap available on the King Ranch F250 dually 4x4 with either the 10.5, 11.8, or 12.4 axles. And then the heavy duty vinyl 40-20-40 that's available in XL pickup box or chassis cabs with a medium dark slate. Medium dark slate interior. And then the headlamps that are available in the limited and it says premium. I mean, I think they mean platinum version. That is those LED projector headlights. And then the 203-inch wheelbase, that the fuel tank for that one with the low sulfur diesel fuel is also limited availability. So there you go. Next up, 24 model year F-150. The order banks are open up for the F-150. Currently 8,993 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. Similar number we saw last week, but they did schedule a bunch of F-150s last week. So, you know, you're going to see that number be consistent like that because they keep getting orders as well, right? They are scheduled for the week of 8/5 this week. And just a reminder that don't forget on your tow haul packages that you make sure you have the max tow axle that goes along with that for your 5.0 liter engine. Make sure it's the 373 XL7, or if you have the 3.5 EcoBoost engine, that you have the 355 axle. So the power boost you don't need to worry about. And then you don't get the tow haul package with the 2.7, so you don't have to worry about that on that. All right, limited availability for the 3.5 hybrid engine, as well as limited availability for the Raptor 37 802A, and limited availability for the LT 265/70R18C all-terrain tire that's optional in the 301A and 302A off-road, the FX4 off-road package. So people need to check their typos because there's a lot of typos in this week. All right. That's all for F-150. Next up is the 24 model year Transit. Order banks are open up for the Transit. There's currently 6,220 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank for the Transit. They are scheduled this week for the week of 8/5. And it does say the only thing it says in here is the limited availability for the low roof van. That's it for the Transit. So there you go. So that's all of the orders or all the scheduling information that I have in here. Again, don't forget, biggest thing on this is, if you see, well, not my order doesn't have any of those issues. Why is it not scheduling? You need to talk to your dealers. Allocation is king. If your dealer doesn't have an allocation, your order won't get selected. And whether you like it or not, that's how the system works. So Ford gives a dealer allocation. The dealer needs an allocation to schedule either a stock or a retail order. So if you have that retail order in there, the dealer needs an allocation. So have that conversation with your dealer. Find out how their allocation sits versus how many orders they have. That'll be a good determining factor of why maybe your vehicle is not getting selected or scheduled. If of course, plus the constraints that are there as well. So if you have any questions, if you're watching the video from Wednesday, go ahead and drop those down in the comments. I'll try to respond to those as quickly as I can. And of course, if you're with us live here on the channel, we're going to go to the live chat and answer questions right now live. So let's go on over to that, Sarah.
We don't really have questions. Let me check. All right. No word on Broncos Sport 2025.
Broncos Sport 2025.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to talk. So I saw something that came out this week of that it might balance out, but I think the date's wrong, so I don't want to talk about it. So I think because Broncos Sport usually goes and coincides with Maverick, which, as we know, should be happening, probably July, August. So at this point, we're probably gonna be holding off on that. So
all right. Maybe I'm wrong, but it seems Ford is not showing too much love for Explorer. Why so much exhausted availability? Supply shortages?
Probably because they scheduled most everything last week. So I mean, that you got to remember the first week that they schedule, they try to schedule out what they can. So like we've noticed with Maverick for the last 2 years is that we'll get, no matter how many allocations we get, if we have retail orders, that first week is retail scheduling. We'll have, since all we have are retail orders, we'll have all of our orders scheduled that first week. Boom. And if they're doing that for every dealer, and that first week is what their bulk of their scheduling is, and they put those in there with those retail orders, and then they go and they fill in with stock orders around those of what's available, right? And so more than likely, it's just a fact on the Explorer. You're seeing a lot of those is because they've already scheduled out those things. These are the things that they, hey, they've already scheduled for. So there's not much to go, that they need to schedule for there. So that's probably more the case than anything, especially when it comes to Explorer. But it does sell pretty well. It is a very, it's a pretty good seller for us. I mean, we sell about 8 to 10 or about 9 to 10 a month. We get a lot of allocations for them, and we do pretty well with them.
Yeah.
They sell pretty well. But a lot of ours are stock. I mean, there's enough and dealer lots that you don't have to really special order an Explorer because you're going to probably be able to find one on a dealer lot. So.
Anthony, actually, Tim does have a Mustang Mach-E. Because they asked how your Mustang is.
Yeah, they know Mach-E. Some people look at it as a Mustang, and I can tell you, driving it drives like one.
Go watch. Did you post that, or is it just for members?
Well, they said I probably shouldn't post that publicly. It is on my Instagram. You can check it out on there, but I'm not gonna put it on Facebook.
Yeah.
So we were gonna put it on our lawn McArthur, and he said we probably better not. So.
Not until we can go out there. Yeah. Anyways, so if you remember,
basically the Mach-E Rally or a GT with the performance upgrade for 24, there's not a vehicle that can launch as fast as that.
Yeah.
I mean, our GM has actually driven a Porsche 911 turbo, and he said one of the fastest launching vehicles, and he can tell you that Mach-E Rally is probably better launching than a Porsche 911. That thing,
you can go check out Von Gittin driving it.
For one, you're all-wheel drive, 700 pound-feet of torque. So off the line, the tires aren't spinning. I mean, when you take off with that, no tires they're traction because you got all-wheel drive. It's just launching. Actually, it does skid a little bit, just a little bit. But on a Mustang, it's that launch control of the tires are spinning because you're putting so much. If it does have all that torque, it's just spinning. Whereas the all-wheel drive system is always going to be better when launching a vehicle. So off the line, that Mach-E Rally is pretty fun, and it's really good because it's got the McArthur suspension. That thing it corners fabulous. It corners really well. Even for somebody that's not experienced like myself, they are really fun to drive. So, and for it is for me. It's going to be a daily commuter vehicle. I'm driving it back and forth to work. I might take a trip to Kansas City with it. You know, I mean, it's not like I'm going to take long road trips with it. I'll drive it, maybe to Kansas City, maybe to Wichita, something like that. The range is still 265. That's okay. I mean, to be honest, I was filling up the Bronco every 250 miles on all of our trips, 200 miles.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's fun to drive.
Yep.
Mine's not about the environment. It's not about all that. I like the maintenance issue of not having to worry about maintenance, 10,000 miles.
Yeah.
And that kind of thing. And that's nice, as well as, not ever stopping for gas. I'll charge mostly at home. And it's fun to drive.
Yeah.
That's quiet. It's smooth. It's responsive. It's all about that. It's all about how it drives.
Yeah.
Vaughn will tell you that too. He is not an advocate for EV. He's an advocate for having fun driving a vehicle, right? He's a fun haver, and that's exactly what and if that electric vehicle is fun, then he'll drive an electric vehicle.
Yes.
So.
Asked him, how does his 24 Mach-E Rally compare to the 24 Mach-E GT?
So it should perform the same. So the difference on the Rally is it comes standard with the performance upgrade, whereas on the GT you would make sure you want to order that with it. It's $1,000 extra for that. So it doesn't come standard with it, but all the GTs do come standard with the McArthur suspension.
Mm-hmm.
So that is a nice upgrade. And I'd encourage, if you are going to get the GT, not just get the performance upgrade, but make sure you get the upgrade of the tires too. I think it's a wheel upgrade you can get. So I'd probably do both. Anyway, So yeah, but definitely a GT performs the same. So the
Yep.
difference is the Rally has all the other, the custom wheels, the tires that go along with for rally racing, the spoiler on the back, the stripes. The interior is just awesome. I love the
Yes.
interior of this. It's so nice. It has Recaro style seating, I believe. It doesn't say Recaro on it, but man, those hug you. Those bolsters keep you in position. I love it. I love the white on the back part of the seats, the suede interior. Just the interior is just phenomenal. So on
Yeah.
that, so that's a big upgrade too. Now the GT does get for performance seats though, I believe still. So they're still nice seats, but yeah, you can't go wrong with a GT with the performance upgrade or a Rally. If you don't like the look, there are a lot of people don't like the look of the Rally. I do. I think it's fun, but a lot of people don't. So instead of going $6,000 upgrade in the GT Rally, then you can go with the performance upgrade for $1,000, and you have a GT that doesn't look, it looks a lot like a
Flashy.
premium. It doesn't look as flashy. It'll look like the current one, and you get a big boost, 700 pound-feet of torque in that one as well. So, and the range is a little bit more than the Mach-E Rally.
Yeah.
Because it's like 280, I think. So.
Yeah. Those are the questions.
Hey, we can talk more about that during the later, because this wasn't just about EV. I just kind of want to talk about what Ford's killing the EV program.
Yeah.
And the Model E program, I should say, where dealers had to sign up for it. We'll talk about that on my mind. Yep. And then next week we'll talk about off road.
Yeah.
So that'll be the topic. So
1, when are you gonna color your hair blue?
Never. I colored it white right here. Just some white got on it somehow.
Yeah, somehow.
That's your fault.
No, I feel like Jolie had more to do with it. Second, what's in that cup?
All right, it's C4 Energy, the Starburst flavor.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Was it cup or is it a mug?
That is a tumbler.
Tumbler.
But it's a cup.
Rambler.
It's a cup.
My lid's coming.
He's like, I want this specific lid that comes with it. That's a straw and that flips up. I don't like this.
Yeah, I don't like these. It's nice to carry, but I end up taking it off and putting it off to the side while I'm drinking. All right. Ready for the next segment?
Yes.
What are we up to? Dealer news update? We don't have a lot here. All right, this first one came out last Friday. Prices updated for yesterday, effective yesterday. More mid-year pricing increases. Wow, they should just quit calling it mid-year price increase. So here's some price increases that happened yesterday, effective yesterday. Maverick is one of them. So the 24 model year F-150. The price increased on the 5.0 liter engine option, $90. The price increased on the Pro Power onboard 7.2 kilowatt option, $100. And the price went up on the 703A Platinum Plus package by $500. So those are price increases on the F-150. Again, if you have a retail order before these increases, make sure your dealer is honoring those prices. So it's not a bad idea to know what those price increases are. So when your vehicle comes in, you're like, nope, I had the Pro Power on board. That needs to be $100 less, because they won't re-invoice it. So the in-window sticker will actually have these price increases. But if you ordered before this date, you are price protected the price level it was when you ordered. So it's always good to, if you got your order sheet, it'll actually have a PL number on it, a price level number. That's the price level that they need to be looking at. So, and if you ever need any of those, let me know. I keep copies of all of them. So just so you know, in fact, I got to get copies of these so I don't forget. On the Mustang, prices did go up on the Mustang as well. The GT Performance Package is now $300 more. The Night Pony Package is $200 more. And the Bronze Appearance Package is $100 more now. On the Maverick, the full-size spare tire option went up $55. So what's that make it? 155 now, if I remember right, or 165, one of those two. Anyway, so that's the only thing on the Maverick. So 25 model year Explorer went up already. The Active Comfort Package went up $280, and the carbonized gray wheel went up $100. That's the 20-inch wheel, I think. That's it. Those there. So that takes the F-150 to price level 450, the Mustang to price level 480, and the Maverick price level 435. And then the Explorer is price level 535. So price levels do start at 415 if you're ever curious about that. And they usually will go they'll go every 5. So usually it'll go 415, 420, 425, 430, 435. That tells you anything. But sometimes they will skip. I think on the Maverick, they've had maybe 2 price increases this year, and they're at the 435. So, I mean, I don't know how they come up with those numbers, but there you go. So that's that. And the other thing I want to talk about is the 25 model year Escape. The order banks opened up, as I mentioned earlier. And I did a video earlier tonight that went live. You can check that out if you want. Again, the prices went down on all the Escapes, but also the content went down. So that's the thing. I looked at it and went, oh yeah, prices went down. That's awesome. But then I started looking at the content and some of the things that are different, like the Active came standard with power liftgate. Well, now it's optional. So, okay, well, we've got to add that in, it's no longer standard. They also, did away with some other things. They changed some of the molding, and some of the bumpers are a little bit different this year than last year. So, there's so watch that video if you want to know the difference on that. Most of the impacts and the changes were done to the Active and the ST line Select. But a couple did happen to, another one for the Active is it lost the power driver's seat as standard equipment, which is kind of weird. The seats on the premium technology package of the ST line, the plug-in, and the Platinum went from leather to Active X. I actually don't think that's a huge deal. I like Active X seats. And the Active also lost the premium wrapped steering wheel. It's now a urethane steering wheel, which I think actually I forgot to mention in the video. Aluminum foot pedals are no longer on the ST line trims. Ambient lighting with floor lights are gone. So some of those things like that. 360-degree camera is no longer standard on the ST line Elite and Platinum. It's now in a package. So you got to go up to the premium package to get it. So some things like that. They did do away with a bunch of dealer installed options, which I'm glad. The ash cup, the smokers package, the cargo organizers. I mean, that stuff, you shouldn't be putting those in there. Let them just get that through Ford Accessories anyway. They did one of the changes in the price decreases or that went down was because the cold weather package is no longer included in the all-wheel drive, because all-wheel drive went down more than the front-wheel drive did, and that's because the comfort package last year was included in the all-wheel drive. This year it's optional, so you can get it. So, and I kind of like that, because then it allows you to say, I don't need those things and I can save myself some money. So then you can add it. I've told you that. Work the way up. I've talked about that in the videos before, but there you go. So not a significant change in the Escape for this year. There's been some gossip out there that maybe the Escape is going away. It's going to be discontinued. A lot of people talking about that. Well, guess only time will tell, but they're going to at least make it one more year. We know that now. So there you go. That's it for that dealer news. I don't really have a lot for dealer news. The other one I have, we'll talk about during the On My Mind. So,
all right. I didn't get questions.
Okay. Well, then we'll move on to recalls. Where's recalls? All right, so we're going to talk about recalls this week. There's a few in here. Don't forget, if you want to check the most recent recalls for you, there's a link in the description of this video or the notes. If you're on the podcast, the show notes, check it out. It's ford.com/support/recalls-details/ here. I'm going to, if you're in the live chat or if you're watching the video, the link is in the show notes, but I'm also going to just drop them in right now. So why not throw those in there so that you guys can go in there? Because actually I want to check mine later, because I just took delivery of mine, and mine, there's one of the recalls has to do with the Mach-E here. So anyway, so let's go through these. First one here is update before sale 24U08. That's on 24 model year Mustang Mach-E vehicles. So it says this program will be in effect through June 30th of 25 or up to 60 days post the warranty start date to allow for sales, reporting, and claiming for unsold vehicles only. So this affects 1,612 unsold vehicles and looks like 457 sold vehicles. So it says the reason for this recall in some of the affected vehicles, the charge status indicator displays in red for a short period after the charge plug is unlocked from the charge port during vehicle level 3 charging. All vehicles are charged correctly and no warning shows in the instrument cluster. So basically dealers are supposed to go through and update and do a software update. So the PCM will need to be updated before they sell it. So I don't know if that got done because this came out on the 12th and mine was already set up before that. So I might have to make sure they got that done. All right. Next one is Customer Satisfaction Program 24M01 for 2020 Ford Explorers and Explorer police units equipped with the 3.3 liter engine. So it says this program provides a repair free of charge to the catalytic converters for 15 years of service or 150,000 miles from the warranty start date of the vehicle, whichever occurs first. So the reason for this here, this does affect 27,108 vehicles. Some of the affected vehicles, one or both of the catalytic converters may develop outer cracks or inner heat-related damage. If the catalytic converter fails, when then the multifunction indicator light may illuminate and diagnostic trouble codes P0420 or P0430 will be stored in the PCM. So now on this in here, they will send out letters to the owners the week of August 26th. So there you go. This is actually a dealer bulletin. So this is not an official one. This is the official one here, but it's just gone out to dealers. So anyway, the parts aren't available yet, basically. So, all right, next one is Safety Recall 24S39 for 2023 and 2024 Escapes with the adaptive cruise control. So this affects only 205 vehicles. And in all of the affected vehicles, the cruise control modular, CCM, may be incorrectly calibrated. This can result in unexpected adaptive cruise control vehicle deceleration due to misclassification of an overhead object or an object in the vehicle's path. This may also impact feature performance of pre-collision assist, forward collision warning, and automatic emergency braking, increasing the risk of crash. So letters are going to go out the week of July 1st to owners for that to be done. This is actually an official notice, I believe, since it's just coming up. All right. And then this next one, I think it might be the last one. Maybe we have two more. All right. This is Safety Recall 24S37 for 2014 F-150s equipped with the CR80 transmission. So this affects 550,915 vehicles. And the reason for this one here in some of the affected vehicles, an intermittent output shaft speed sensor failure may result in an unintended downshift into first gear. Depending on the vehicle's speed at the time of the downshift, an abrupt wheel speed reduction may occur, which could cause the rear tires to slide or lock up until the vehicle speed slows. This condition can result in a loss of vehicle control, increasing the risk of crash. So letters are going to go out the week of July 1st to owners for this when parts will be available. So there you go. That's a little bit older vehicles, but there you go. All right. This last one is Customer Satisfaction Program 24P15 for 24 model year F-150 hybrids. That's a 3.5 power boost engine. This program will be in effect through June 30th of 2025 for vehicles within the new bumper-to-bumper warranty coverage period. 28,899 vehicles are affected by this, and some of the affected vehicles, the vehicle's misfire monitor falsely detects a misfire. The malfunction indicator light will illuminate if this concern is present. There is no known impact to drivability or the MIL, the malfunction indicator light, may clear if the misfire monitor stays falsely detecting misfires. Owners will not be mailed for this program, it says. So basically, if it happens to you, the service departments will know what to do and that your program is in effect. So basically, you'll get that when it happens, if it happens. So, all right, that's all the recalls.
All right. No questions.
All right, no questions. You guys are making it easy on me. All right. Next up is it true? So I have one for you. This came out this week that the Whipple Supercharger for the F-150 is available. So that is big news because we've been waiting. We thought it was going to be fourth quarter. They're now saying it'll be available. And if you go on Whipple's website and order right now for yourself, it'll say it'll ship out in 8 to 10 weeks. So technically it's available.
With an 8 to 10
But if you go through Whipple, it'll take you 8 to 10 weeks. But if you go through a dealer that goes through Ford Performance, then you'll get them in July. So we have 20 of these on order right now through Ford Performance, and we're supposed to get ours in July. So it's true. Finally, the F-150 Superchargers are available. We're going to be using the Whipple ones. Roush's is not available yet. Whipple's got theirs first. Kind of helps, I think, that they're working with Ford Performance. And so that will be available. So if you're wanting a F-150, if maybe you got one of those lightning bolts from us and you've been waiting for that supercharger to put on it, get a hold of us. We have 20 that are on order that'll be coming in so that we can, install that on your Lightning. We already have some that were pre-sold. So same price as the Mustang Supercharger now. So there you go. So
all right.
Cool stuff right there. Probably no questions about that.
Nope.
All right. So this came out this last week. There's actually a dealer bulletin that came out June 13th. It was just after last week's live stream. So the discontinuation of, they call it the voluntary Model E EV program. So a couple of years ago, they came out and said, if you're going to sell EVs, you have to sign up for the Model E program for dealers. So if you want to do it, yes, you have to sign up, but there's certain requirements you're required to do to be an EV Model E dealer at that time. And one of those was to install superchargers. The other was to go through this training and a bunch of other things that you had to do. And so that's caused a big fuss for a lot of dealers because, now we've always been able to sell about any Ford vehicle. Ford made the vehicle, we could sell it. We can order it. We could get them in, whether it be stock retail. Then Ford came out with this and said only certified and elite certified dealers that are signed up with this program and are willing to invest for the superchargers, the infrastructure, and the service requirements are going to be able to sell these vehicles. That caused a lot of big problem. There are some small dealers that want to provide customer service to their customers and be able to order EVs, and they weren't able to. So there was a big deal about it. And with the fluctuation too of, not as basically they're trying to give people choices, and EV may not be the choice. And so now because of that, they've said because the lower demand of people wanting EVs, they're opening it up. They're discontinuing the program and opening up so basically every dealer will be able to order and to get in model Mach-E's, E-Transits, and Lightnings, and any other future EVs. So they've discontinued the program. So I guess the question is, what's that do? There's some dealers that already invested a lot of money in these superchargers, or not superchargers, the chargers, right? So the question is Ford going to reimburse them? Because they did a town hall today, and they did not address that. We didn't stick around for the Q&A, but that's going to be a big question, is those dealers that did. We did not. We almost did. We had the chargers purchased ready to do it, and then they told us, okay, well, we're going to extend the deadline, and so we said, well, let's wait. We're going to see if the state will do anything for us, and then now they've discontinued. We're kind of glad that we sent them back. So we sent those chargers back, and so we didn't.
Right.
We're fortunate. There are certain things that they did say in this note, though, that they are required to do still. If you're going to service EVs, you have to have certain things um, in your service space to be able to service these EVs. These big batteries, right? You have to be able to have the training. Just like with anything else, you still have to go through that. So they're still requiring that. So they have to stay current on existing EV training planners across all roles. So sales staff too, they want to sell EVs, they have to be certified. You have to have your product knowledge, employee safety, all that stuff. It says 2 high voltage battery trained technicians for any dealer over 300. 1 trained technician if you're a U300 dealer. That means you sell less than 300 units a year. They do encourage 2. And then also you having the hardware and equipment elements needed to safely and effectively perform EV service work, including access to a forklift. They did say if you can rent one. So basically, if you have a local rental forklift company in town, that would work. Also, it does say installing 2. It does still require some chargers. 2 level 2 chargers are still required. Eligible for a 2-for-1 next gen charger credit and 3 NEMA plugs. So 2 level 2 chargers and 3 NEMAs. So I think we may already have some. So we might have to still install some chargers. But now, because of this, the deadline's been extended to next year. So we have like a year to get the chargers in. But yeah, so there you go. There's that.
But which makes sense because like a Tesla, we can't service Teslas. We have to send them or get a Tesla technician out here.
Yeah, Tesla doesn't. I mean, they have
to.
Yeah.
It makes sense because you want these vehicles to be getting the best service that they can get. Because these are supposed to last a long time.
Yep.
I get it.
So now it's opened up. That didn't change anything. Still, the Mach-E's are still ordered the way they are, just like any other vehicle. You order it. Dealers can get stock. We have stock Mach-E's here that came in that we ordered a stock. Lightnings are still done. They're using the RRC, the retail replenishment centers is what they're calling them. So retail replenishment centers. That's how we got. So we actually have 4 Lightnings that are here. 1 customers came in and didn't take it, and the other 3 were ones we got at the RRC that we're calling RRs. It's abbreviations. Ford loves abbreviations. So their retail replenishment center is where we receive those. So they're basically going to build all these Lightnings, certain configurations. You can't order one. The way you want it. You have to basically look on Ford.com, build and buy, and see what's available at a dealer or what's available at these RRC facilities, and then work from your dealer to go and get one of those and bring it to the dealership. Which really ours, we purchased those 3. We got them within 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So it'll say available in 3 to 4 weeks. That's the quickest time frame. It really doesn't take that long. If they're already, if they say that shortest time frame, it's only the time it takes to basically ship it from there to us. So it only took a couple weeks for us to get those. But that's how you're going to get Lightnings right now. So you don't custom order a Lightning. We talked about that before, but there are great incentives right now. So Lightnings have super cheap rates. They're 3.9 for 66 months or 60 months. So pretty low rate. Mach-E is, I'm in a Mach-E because the lease rate. I wasn't going to take my Mach-E, and I am because the lease is phenomenal for the Mach-E right now. 24 is just kind of came out and just started being delivered, and they have super cheap leases right now. Right now, they just came out today. So you guys are in the know. As of today, $7,500 rebate on a lease. So think about that. That's crazy. Really good lease rate on 39 months, which is what I went with. So $7,500 and like a 39-month lease is super cheap right now. So yeah, so it's crazy how cheap this is. So that's a pretty good deal that they're doing on all the 24s, all the 23s. If you can find a 23 Mach-E at $11,000 off on a lease on a Mach-E, and then the rates are still cheap. So if you can find a 23 model year out there, I think we got a dealer down the road that probably still has a few.
You can get D plan and go to another dealer, right?
Yeah, you can do a D plan if they honor plan pricing.
True.
They don't have to.
Dealer trade.
Yeah, I do recommend that. Now, one of the reasons why on the Mach-E you're seeing that lease rate at 7,500 is because they don't qualify for the EV tax credit. So they have to. They say on a lease you do, but it's the leasing company that does. So it has to be so many. So technically, Ford gets the money, or the dealer. If the dealership does enough of them, they would get it. But there's not a. I mean, we don't do enough to get that. It has to be a significant amount. So you have to. Yeah, there you go. So
What's the longest you have kept a vehicle?
I've had some for quite a while in the past. I mean, we had the 2020 F-150 that I had until I got the Lightning, right?
Yeah.
Traded that in a Lightning.
Yeah.
So I got it. I didn't get it in 2020. So what was it? 19. And then I had it probably 3 years.
Yeah.
2-3 years.
And then you keep Mom's Expedition.
Yep. The Expedition, we usually run it about every 3 years. So usually when the warranty's about up, we'll trade her into a new one.
I feel like the vehicles that we drove are the ones that you kept the longest.
I will say lately I've been trading every year because I like to go through the system of what customers are going through.
It helps because it lets you know what are the customers experiencing. Also, you get to drive a vehicle and get to know the vehicle personally.
Yeah. And I know TC Custom does the same thing. I mean, he's been in a couple different Broncos, a Raptor and a regular Bronco. He's been in a Lightning too. His wife drives an Expedition. I mean, so we do get to experience that.
I know that like working here, we've gotten some really good deals on some vehicles just because, FCTP, it's the right time. They need to be off the lot because it's the last 23 that we have. We got a Transit Connect that way. It was a FCTP. It had 2,000 miles on it. They need to get rid of it. It was over 6 months old.
Yeah.
So we got a really good deal on it because we were here at the right time to see it.
Yeah, timing is really good. Always looking for that deal, that good lease rate or whatever, the big discounts, dealers, kind of time it all, because like mine, like right now the leases just became really good on these right when my order came in. I just got lucky in that sense. And when I went into the Maverick, I went into it in a pretty good equity position, so I wasn't upside down or anything. And so then also when I went to go, the Maverick was still bringing pretty good money. Yeah. I had a lot of equity going into this lease, which made it even cheaper yet. So, yeah.
But working at a car dealership, you'll see people that work there trade more often just because they're there to see the deals and see how much that price has decreased.
Yeah.
And they're there to catch that deal when it pops up before anyone else.
Yeah.
Just a benefit to working at a dealership.
For a long time, I didn't very often.
No, you didn't. It was every 3 years.
Yeah, because I had a daily driver, and when we got the Bronco, we decided, okay, that was going to be a fun vehicle to have as an extra vehicle.
That's what, 22?
That's a 21.
That's a 21. There you go.
Yeah. But there for a while, like the Expedition's usually every 3 years. So like there's a refresh happening on the Expedition this year. So we might be, we actually need to look. I want to see what it's going to look like, because she may not like some of the changes. She may not like the dash. She may not like the swing gate if they're going to do it. So then at that point, if that's the case, we may want to go ahead and take delivery of a 24 or order a 24 if it's not too late, right? And have that come in since she's got a 22, so that we can keep it for a little while until maybe they either change it back or she gets to where she likes it, the look of it. So, but there you go. But, yeah, I only put 3,700 miles on the Maverick.
Mm-hmm.
So in this lease, I did 7,500 miles. So they're like, that's pretty low. And I'm like, well, I'm probably not going to put that many on it.
Yeah.
The Bronco, even if you add the Bronco and that up, I mean, I've had the Bronco since 2012 21 model year, which is 20. I got it in 22. So if you added the both of them up in the Lightning, it's still probably under 75 or pretty close to 7,500 miles. So anyway, maybe I should have gone 10.5, but oh well, we'll see. But there you go. We'll see what else comes out.
Yep.
Oh, we have some refreshes happening, but
yeah.
The new Maverick refresh doesn't entice me at this time. I'm just it really doesn't. Bronco Sport refresh doesn't entice me. Well, let's see what Bronco's going to look like, but the 21 is going to be the Bronco. We're going to keep that. I said if I got a 21 the first year of the 6th gen that I was going to keep it, and we've done so many modifications to it. Yeah, that's a keeper. I think if I feel like I need to upgrade anything on the Bronco, like a front locker, we'll get the Ford Performance upgrade, and we'll upgrade the front locker, add a front locker to it. You can do that afterwards, and upgrade the half shafts and stuff like that. That would be what I would do if I decide to do that. But I put too much stuff on it. It'd probably take me like a month just to take everything off that I would want to put to the new Bronco if that happened.
Yeah.
But
yep. We do not know anything about 25 Bronco Sport. Not really.
No.
Plug-in hybrid Maverick. We have not seen anything.
Well, I heard that the plug-in hybrid is a no-go. That is not going to happen. It was confirmed. So there was a U300. So that means smaller dealers that sell under 300 units a year. They had basically that they went through and wanted to talk to all the dealers. There, I guess, was some webcast that was kind of a hey, we want to just finalize some things or whatever. They did a webcast, I guess, Monday, and they could ask questions. And so they asked about the 25 Maverick, and they asked if the 25 Maverick would have a plug-in hybrid, and they said no. That was a confirmed no.
Okay.
And so that information came from Tommy Brogan, because we're not an under 300 dealer. So Tommy always has that information. So he's over on Facebook. So Tommy messaged me and said that he found that out. I said, what, did I miss some live stream for Maverick or something? He said, so he told me what was going on. I'm like, oh, okay. So I didn't miss anything. So that came out. There was some other news he's waiting to mention, and I'm not going to say anything or either to confirm some things on all-wheel drive hybrid. So we'll see.
Yeah.
So that's looking positive. But no confirmation on anything. Don't want to throw that out there if we don't know for sure, because that wasn't really confirmed. So anyway, but hopefully.
Yeah.
I mean, the brand manager told me in the past that they're working on it. They just didn't tell me what year it was going to happen. It was confirmed that they're going to come out with an all-wheel drive hybrid at some point, but he didn't confirm whether it was going to be 25 model year. So.
Yeah.
But my opinion, a plug-in hybrid is a great. I think there should be a plug-in hybrid version about everything. But when a Maverick hybrid gets 42 miles to the gallon in the city, I don't necessarily think a plug-in is something they need to put a lot of effort and a lot of expense towards. I mean, you have R&D that goes in. You have to pay for this research and development. And to spend all this time when you already have a great hybrid vehicle that already gets 42 miles a gallon, maybe they should work on, working on that for other vehicles instead. Did that. But anyway, it still gets pretty good gas mileage. So I don't know if a plug-in is going to happen. So on the Maverick anyway, not in the near future.
Ragnar said, I just realized I can no longer speculate or talk about future product.
Yeah. So see, he's gone through his training. He's got it down. Very good.
First thing they teach you.
Yep. Can't talk about future product.
Yeah.
At the time, I don't know anything, to be honest. Occasionally, they do have another dealer. This summer, they have another dealer thing, but I don't think they were already talking about going. So I think they've already booked the stuff, and they haven't said anything to me. So I don't know if I'm going to get to go. Just kind of a bummer. I actually had fun doing that. go into that. So
Let's see. My father-in-law got a FX4 Lariat. I think Lariat. It's an FX4 Ranger. It did great on our trip to Colorado.
yep, somebody mentioned, there is a plug-in hybrid in the Escape. Yes, is the only vehicle that has a plug-in hybrid.
Yeah.
Is the Escape. So
I drove one yesterday.
yeah, and for a long time, they basically were comparing the Maverick to saying it was built on the same platform as Escape, but really was built on the same platform. I mean, it's the same chassis, I think, or same C class or whatever they call it, but doesn't mean it's readily, easily available to move everything over. I don't know, but
are we ready for Q&A?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. What happens to dealers who are in between or already installed 1 or 2 DC chargers at their facilities?
Well, that was a question, is, I mean, we didn't stick around for Q&A. Maybe we should have. They might have said something, but so in here it actually mentions that you still required to have 2 chargers. So before, as an EV dealer, you had to have 1 charger if you're a Ford, another one if you're a Lincoln, and they had to be separate. That's why we have 2 out there.
Yeah.
We had to have 2 out there, and then so we had to have those now. So they're saying that even if you're as a dealer, if you want to sell an EV, you still are required to have a couple chargers. So what was that right here? Yeah. So next steps, all dealers will need to demonstrate EV readiness and fundamental EV competency by the end of March of 2025 in order to sell and service EVs. Most dealers should already meet these EV competencies or should be able to do so without incident. EV competency includes, and it mentions 3 things. Now, point out, if you had already signed up as an EV elite or certified, you've already gone through the training. You've already done half of this stuff. So it's the ones that decided not to, and now that they fought it and now they're able to, now they're going to have to go through these steps. And the dealers that were a part of the Model E are kind of ahead of the game. But so here's what they are. So staying current on existing EV training planners across all roles with the goal of ensuring EV knowledge and employee safety, including 2 high voltage battery trained techs for the bigger dealers and a minimum of 1 trained tech, encouraged to have 2 for those smaller dealers. It says having the hardware and equipment elements needed to safely and effectively perform EV service work, including access to a forklift. Because I don't know if you saw, I actually posted some picture at one time where they had a Lightning and how they got to the battery packs. They actually lift the frame up. So now that you can do with your lift or with your if you have your lifts and your regular shop lifts, you can do that. But those battery packs, then once you have that up, still need to use a forklift to be able to move the battery packs from when you get them to the vehicle. So you need a forklift. And then also installing 2 level 2 chargers and 3 NEMA plugs. So you're still required to have, we have 2 level 2 chargers. So it does say they have to be, it says 19.2 kilowatt, 240 volt, 80 amp level 2 charger. So ours won't work because it says 80 amp or higher, and ours are a 30 and a 40. So ours won't qualify. So we still have to install 2 chargers. 3 NEMA plugs. That's probably 2 of those. They're probably considered NEMAs. So I think they're smaller, but there you go. So those are the requirements by March of 2025, regardless. Even if you don't weren't a regular dealer and you just want to do this, you still have to do those things. You still have to be able to adequately service your vehicles, just like any other Ford vehicle. You have to go through the training. We have to go through training to sell vehicles as salespeople, and service has to go through training as well. They got to go to school and they have to be able to service them. So this is no different. So I think that's good stuff there. So anyway. All right. What else? Any other questions?
Yeah. Would you want a range extender? ice on your Mach-E.
Okay, so BMW, those little BMWs we have, they have little gas motors, and they're only as a range extender. So you can put gas in them, and basically it's like a generator in a sense that then charges the battery to extend it. That is cool. I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's something I could see, you know, possibly helping. I know Dodge does that with their Ram truck or whatever, their EV truck. They have a range extender. Um, I don't know. I mean, because you got to figure too is that range extender is going to be heavy. It's going to affect your range. That's kind of redundant because it's kind of affecting your range by having a range extender. So is it really extending anymore? So I don't know. I mean, it's kind of one of those things. How much it
Yeah.
weighs? Because that's gonna weigh more. So I don't know. It's getting to the point now. There's enough chargers out. Like I look
Yeah.
now because when we had the Lightning a year ago, right?
Mhm.
Charging was different.
Yes.
So when we went to a trip to Kansas City, where could we stop? We had to get to Topeka. That was the only place that there was a charger between here and Kansas City was Topeka. And then there was a couple smaller chargers on the turnpike, right? And then Kansas City had terrible chargers. They had a bunch of level 2s, but they had no level 3s, right? And anywhere in that area. Now, if you look on the map,
They're everywhere.
there's the travel 24/7 travel centers. There's one in Abilene now, and there's also one at Maple Hill now. Did you know that?
Yeah.
So I knew they were installing it, but now they're both installed.
Okay.
Plus, you have the Tesla chargers. Once I get an
Yes.
adapter, which I signed up for
Yeah.
from Ford, which will probably take 3 months, it seems like. You know, it takes longer to get one of those adapters for the Tesla Superchargers than it does to get a vehicle. Just pointing that out for your Ford. You realize how long it's taken to get the adapters? I mean, the people that signed up, over 2 months ago, have just finally gotten there. So it almost takes longer to get the stinking adapter than it does to get a Mach-E. Throwing that out there. So Electron has them. I'm thinking about purchasing one. I want to spend $200 and get one for free. But there's a company I'm trying to work with to do videos for them and see if they'll comp me one. Anyway, so if you can use the Tesla charger, there's one in Abilene, and then there's another one in Kansas City, plus the ones on the turnpike.
Yes.
They're not slower. They're the fast ones because the ones on the turnpike are they're like the 60 amp or something or whatever, 60 kilowatt, I should say. So there's a lot more options now than there was even a year ago.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking about that. A year ago today, I was driving a Lightning.
Yes.
And now I'm in a Mach-E a year later.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have the Maverick for a full year. So I got it in September and traded it in. So a year ago, I had a Lightning. So just 1 year.
The airport, and that first trip that we took, we didn't plug in at the airport, and so we had just enough, or we plugged in when we got back because we couldn't find a spot big enough for the Lightning, so we had to plug in when we got back. Luckily there was a spot, and then we sat there for a while and we were like, this is taking forever, let's see if we can find one. And there was one that was just right inside the range. Like we just barely made it.
Yeah, we charged up just enough to get us. I think we had 10-mile range or something. Yeah. We went and generated a lot as we did it, and we went slow and everything. That's where I knew that speed kills. But now there's a lot more. Even in Kansas City, around there's a lot more. But also I found out Lightnings don't fit in some of those spots at the airport very well. So that's why we didn't charge there. Was that it was so wide, it just couldn't fit. It was like tight. Mach-E is going to be different. So
it's because they originally made like Tesla and the smaller vehicles were the original EV vehicles, but now that you have like Hummer, F-150, although the Hummers aren't really parking at a trickle charger, in economy parking.
Although I still have a problem with plug-in hybrids parking in those.
Yes.
I mean, I get it. Yes, you got a plug. Great. But it takes you 1 hour to charge that thing.
That's long-term parking. That's not.
And you have gas in your vehicle. Yours is a hybrid when you're not plugged in. Yeah. Sometimes I'm like, I don't.
We've had a couple of rants about that.
Yes.
So onwards.
We have.
Have you heard of a permaplate? When I got my Maverick, the dealership gave me a perma plate. Oh, would that be a
Template.
template?
So you get I switched my tags because I had
It's
Maverick.
either a temp tag like we do here in Kansas where it's a paper tag and you stick it on, or it's where, some of the dealerships, we've heard in some states that dealerships are the ones that give the tag.
Yeah.
So, not sure. But I do know that in some states, the dealer's the one that gives the tag out.
Yeah.
One name to consider for the meetup would be to call it the McArthur Club, or LMC. You could go one further, McArthur Car Club. LMCC.
Broncos event is Broncos Supercell.
Yeah.
And it's only Broncos. And so that makes it a little bit different. And so Maverick meetup made sense. But
we want to include everyone from our YouTube community.
Yeah.
I still think something with YouTube community really makes sense.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Or Ford Video Guy.
Yes, or something with Ford Video Guy. On future Maverick Monday, have new Rangers side by side with Maverick for comparison.
We need a Ranger for that.
We have a Ranger.
I don't like using somebody else's Ranger.
Okay.
We have a Ranger Raptor for sale.
Yeah. Take your trimmer Maverick and put it up against the Ranger Raptor.
Yeah. You changed that price today. What'd you change that to?
I don't know. I did change it though. I don't pay attention to what I'm changing it to. I just know it's correct. Are the numbers the same on both? Yep. Okay, we're good. There's a company called LMC. Yeah.
Sticker. Or sticker.
Or a sticker.
We have a Ranger Raptor available in Shelter Green with the graphics for sticker.
Yeah.
15,725.
An idea for Ranger, self-parallel parking and perpendicular parking on the 24 Ranger. The only problem with that is that I don't think there are any spots in Salina with actual would it be the
parallel?
Parallel. We don't really have parallel spots here in Salina. All of ours are perpendicular.
Well, you could do along the curb, like on a street, but that'd be about it.
Without the lanes.
Well, you need a vehicle, yeah, for it to work. You need two vehicles on both sides to work.
So maybe it's an idea. Why was the 23 that just came in delayed so long?
Don't know.
No idea.
I actually think that it was probably damaged. I think it said something about damage at one point for the status. I did notice that it was at the Kansas City assembly plant as well.
Yeah.
At one point, the location was at the assembly plant in Kansas City. So maybe some of the parts were damaged, some of the fenders or some of the body parts, and they had to ship those and then have them assemble it. So that's a possibility.
All right.
But I can tell you what, I drove it in that video yesterday, and I can tell you that there's nothing wrong with it. It's brand new. The thing is that there's not anything wrong with it now. So,
since Ford has put a new front and rear emblem on the F-150 and supposedly on new 25 MAV, do you think that will stop fading issues?
Yeah, probably.
A chromatic, yeah.
Probably. Yep. And what's another thing that's nice about that is having the illuminated front emblem makes it a lot easier to make that as a dealer installed option too. On it looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
By the way, the monkey has the pony lights up when you have the lights on. Might have to drive home with the fog lights on tonight.
RagnerCon, I think you guys may need some more Bronco Sport heritage.
Yeah. Nah, we don't need any more of those. We don't have any on order. So that's good. We have some free willings coming in.
We have a black one in currently, and we sold the white one.
Yep, we got the first white one back.
Yeah.
It'll be used though.
Oh, that's true. Douglas says, "Don't you folks have to get up early and tomorrow?"
Yes.
Alan says, "It's only 7 p.m. here. It's only 9 here." But those were all my questions that I had pulled aside.
Somebody said something about the grill. He did send me that. He said that
Ooh.
extra grill, or there's a fifth grill. I showed 4 different grills in my Maverick Monday video last
Where
week.
are you, diabetic?
And so yes, I do have it, but I don't know if that's another grill though. Hold on a second. Go to page 2 of my emails. It's in here somewhere. Here it is. Oh, okay. Yeah, this one does have. I don't know if this is actually a 5th grill or if it's actually one concept that they had of a grill.
It might be a package.
Well, actually, they changed the image. Now they took out the other grill.
Oh.
Because there it is. Grill number 3. All right, well, let's put this up here. Let's put this up there, and we can talk about it.
So when you stop to charge your vehicle, you do have to pay for the charge.
Yes, just like you got to pay for gas.
But
Right?
if you're charging at your house, so there's where cost is when you're thinking about the cost of a gas versus electric. It's mainly the cost effective when you're at home or traveling within that distance of your home. So as long as you can get there and back and charge at home, there's really no that's where you save your money.
To be honest, most people, 80% of their charging is done at home. I mean, think about when you drive, most people, they commute to and from work. They might make a trip on a weekend, or they might go on vacation. They might go out of town once in a while. But more than likely, there are a lot of people that, especially if they're in a household with a husband and wife, right? They have 2 vehicles. They have 2 people that have a daily driver. And when you think about it, the other vehicle can be the vehicle that you drive out of town.
Mm-hmm.
So you see that a lot. So like with me, we took very few trips out of town. Most of my charging, more than 80%, probably 90% of it was at my house.
Yep.
Which it's very cheap.
Certain department stores here have free level 2 chargers. The airport.
Hotels sometimes do.
The hotels sometimes. Did the airport have free charging? Or do you pay for
no,
that?
we pay for that.
Okay. So sometimes you can find free chargers. Charge America. Do you get a certain amount of free charging?
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
We talked about that in a
yeah. Kia and a few others do include free year of charging.
Volkswagen does unlimited charging for Electrified America.
Yes.
Limited to 30 minutes at a time, I think. But
yeah.
Which 30 minutes does charge you all the way up for the most part. All right. So here's this grill. So this is the other one. So we talked about a couple of weeks ago. We showed this grill off, right, without the color. I mean, they actually had the whole thing, kit and caboodle. Anyway, you had this one here, and then within the same post, they had this one. So that one, similar look to it. So I guess the question is whether or not that's which grill we'll see. I wonder if this was just they were testing this out, but to be honest, I don't like that grill as much. I mean, look at how much openness you have there. It's a lot more than the other one. I don't know if I like the design behind the 2 bars. I mean, I kind of liked the 2-bar grill that came across. Yeah. It looked like to me like the Raptor grill, or I mean, not the Raptor, the Ranger grill. So I kind of liked the 2-bar grill from 20 so far that we currently have. But I don't think I like the grill behind it or on both sides of it. And I don't like this big openness here, because when you go up to this other one.
You know what I think that's for? All the openness is to add lights.
I guess it is open here. It's just not as impactful because of the way I have it. I don't know. Anyway, so there's that. So whether that's a 5th grill, a special trim or package grill, or were they, since it's not bad, since it's still badged up, the question is, will it be which grill are they going to be using? Because it could be that they were just testing those out to see which grill they're going to use, and they probably
Yeah.
decided which one they're going to go with. So it'd be nice, last year, what was it, last year that they released a package or whatever early? It'd be nice if they did that. So usually sometimes how you find that is when they're trying to get the website up and running, that you can find that. Like I was actually on, I think I Googled like 2025 Ford F1 or Ford Maverick, and I found there actually is a page for 25 Ford Maverick, like when you can learn about your vehicle, the owner thing.
Yeah.
Already created.
Huh.
See, look at this. They have a Ford Maverick PDF 2025. Oh, nope. Guess not. Evidently, people are just searching for it.
Mm.
Here's what's related to 2025. There you go. Support information, owner's manual. Oh, hold on. Check this out. Eligible 2021 and 2022 vehicles will receive three. Oh, that has nothing to do with the Maverick, because they didn't have it back then. Support information. So if you go there, see, so they have the site. They're getting the site ready for 2025, but if you look, that page is not like have any information. In the past, that's how you got information. People were doing that. So, oh, you guys can't see what I'm looking at. Sorry.
Yeah.
Anyway, but they have it there. Anyway, we'll see. But everybody's ready, so show us what it's really going to look like, and it'd be really funny if none of those grills even were what it is, and the fascia's not there, and it'd be really funny if it just comes out and it's like, nope, that's not what we're gonna do. We tricked you. Anyway, there you go. All right.
Can you go over the different types of charging?
Okay, so we have like most of your home charging, you have level 1, level 2, and level 3. That's what they call it. So level 1 is usually like a 110 outlet, or a 240 volt, like, that kind of thing. It's slower charging. I like to call the 110 outlet like trickle charging, because it's very slow charging, that kind of thing. Then you have level 2 is usually basically it's still AC charging. It's not flipped over to DC charging. So most of those chargers are your like 60 kilowatt or lower. Usually most of those are your level 2s, that kind of thing. When you go to level 3 chargers, those are your faster chargers. Those are usually ones that you see that are 150 kilowatt charging or 350 kilowatt charging. And those are your fast DC. They convert the AC over to DC power so it can charge faster. And then like on the Mach-E and a Lightning, there's a second port. So you usually have to have the CCS port for you to be able to plug into those. So you do have a J1772, right? 1772. That's uses the round hole to plug in, and that's usually your level 2s. Just use the round. You need to, when you need level 3, do the big one. But again, when you're traveling, that's when you want to do the fast charging DC level 3 chargers. And a lot of times when you're on the go, you want to look for those faster chargers, 150 or more. Mach-E will only charge about 150 kilowatt. That's as fast as it can come. The 350s exist because there are vehicles out there that can charge that fast, like Tesla's. Tesla charges a lot faster. So you'll see those. But that's kind of those. So a lot of times, like your level 2s are going to charge slower. And you'll see those at like hotels and that kind of stuff, because when people are staying overnight, they can plug into a level 2 charger. And it'll charge you overnight up to 100%. So if you're like almost completely out, it'll charge you overnight. So then when you get out the next morning, you can unplug and you have a full charge. But DC fast charging, you don't want to do that because then within 30, 40 minutes, you're going to be fully charged. So that's why hotels will be a level 2 charger instead. A level 1 will take more than 24 hours for it to charge up from like 10 or 20 or 30%. So that's why they won't make them that slow of chargers. Airport, right. The one at the airport is like a 12 kilowatt or 6 kilowatt because they expect that you're plugging in and you're gone for several days on a trip. So we'll leave, plug it in.
At least 24 hours.
And then, so we'll be gone for over 24 hours. So within 24 hours, then it's fully charged. And so, so there you go. But that's kind of how that works. But
look at that. All the windows, dealership creak, that usually means winds are kicking up.
Oh, yeah.
Does Ford normally change colors consistently across the whole line? Wondering about Velocity Blue continuing on Ranger, or if it'll be replaced next year with Atlas like F-150 and Maverick.
I don't know what their consistency in. We'll see colors become available on one model, not on another. We saw that with Bronco Sport. Eruption Green was available on Bronco Sport for last year, but then they didn't put it on Maverick at the exact same plant. But we've seen one driving around with that color. So the question is, will that be available for the Maverick? So sometimes we'll see that a color not be on 1 year and it is on another year. At Antimatter Blue, Bronco, it was available the first year. They took it away the other years, but it's still available on an F-150. So they'll use a lot of the same colors on some models, but there's no necessarily consistency between them. Yeah.
But Velocity Blue tends to be a continuing color. If they take it off it's usually gone for a year or two, but that one just keeps popping back up.
Velocity Blue, yeah. I think, isn't that still available on the Bronco? Maybe not. I don't know.
There it is.
Rain?
Yep, it's hitting. I got alert. Severe thunderstorm warning for Salina. Thunderstorm was spotted near Lindsberg and Culver. So I knew within the next few minutes we'd be seeing it.
Yep. All right. Well, anyway. Okay. Any other questions?
All of the questions I had.
Okay.
Any others before we head out? It's 9:02.
All right. We went over last week. It's almost 10 o'clock last week and shorter this week. So, all right.
We do have to get up early tomorrow.
Yep. All right. Well, we'll go ahead and end it there. Again, thanks everybody for joining us tonight. I know this is a lot of people probably that are used to seeing Bronco or Maverick stuff. And EV, there's not as many people. We know that only about 7% of the vehicles purchased are an EV. So we know this is going to be a small percentage, but it was just a topic that we thought came out that we talk about. And next week we'll talk about Bronco off-rodeo and maybe not even just Bronco off-rodeo, but these different things that Ford has built into the ownership experience. Because there's also a Raptor school as well that's going to be available. Bronco Raptor has one. Mustang has one for some of their vehicles. They had it for like the Mach 1 and some of those vehicles, but we'll see. I'd love to see. They need to make one for the rally. I want to go over to Dirtfish and I want to do some of that and learn some of that. I saw how much it costs for a half a day and I'm not willing to invest that much. But yes. But if there's somebody, if there's a member that wants to come to Salina and put on a little thing, we might be able to get some vehicles. Have one in some place he has that we could.
I might actually know someone that does dirt track racing.
That would be fun.
Family member, distant family member, but he races.
We just need to get a hold of Vaughn and go and join him.
Yeah. Vaughn, what you got?
Yeah, come on now. All right. Anyway, so there you go. Note plug-in hybrid. Yeah, typically you only use a level 2. That's correct. They don't need to. The battery is so small that they don't need that level 3 charger to charge theirs. So it charges so fast. All right, here we go. All right, well, thanks everybody for joining us. We got some videos for you guys, so hope you guys are looking forward to those coming out. here shortly as soon as we can get those edited. Plus, Bronco for members, we're going to do some stuff with the off rodeo and on our trip. So stay looking and for that information, those videos to drop. Not sure when we'll drop those, but I'll be looking for those. And other than that, I think that's it for this week.
All right.
All right. All right. That it?
That's it.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for joining us. Stay positive. Be kind to one another.
And be kind to yourself.
We'll see you later.